Nacum, Hebrew for vengeance, tells the story of the Avengers, Nachmim, a group of young Holocaust survivors led by poet and resistance fighter Abba Kovner, who undertook a mission of revenge against Germany following the crimes of the Holocaust. Nacum, which means revenge in Hebrew, was a group of around 50 survivors of the Holocaust, who wanted to get back at the people responsible for killing 6 million Jews during the Holocaust after World War II. The leader of Nacum was Abba Kovner, and the group's plan was to kill 6 million Germans as a form of revenge. Wanting to give them a taste of what had happened to the Jewish people, Kovner went to a place called Mandatory Palestine to get poison to put in the water supply and hurt a lot of Germans. His followers managed to get into the water system of a city called Nuremberg, but Kovner got caught by the British in the part of Germany they controlled, and he had to throw the poison away. After this failed attempt, Nacum came up with Plan B. They decided to target prisoners of war held by the United States in Germany. They got poison locally and put it in bread that was baked for the prisoners. This made German prisoners sick in a place called Langwasser internment camp, but no one died from it. Some people think Nacum was a group of terrorists, but in 2000, German officials decided not to charge 2 members because of the strange situation. In 1945, Abba Kovner visited places where many Jews were killed and talked to survivors. He got very angry and decided to get revenge. He got together around 50 survivors, mostly Jewish partisans and a few who had escaped to the Soviet Union. They were chosen because they could blend in and not get caught easily. Most of them were young, around their early 20s, and they came from different places like Vilnius, Rovna, Chenstokhova, and Krakow. They called themselves Nacum, which means revenge in Hebrew. They also used another name, Din, which means judgment, and it stood for the blood of Israel avenges. The people in Nacum thought that just because Nazi Germany lost the war, it didn't mean that Jews were safe from more bad things. Kovner believed that they needed to do something really shocking to show that the enemies of Jews couldn't do bad things without consequences. He wanted to shock the Germans so they would remember what happened in Auschwitz and not go back to their normal lives. He believed that the laws at that time couldn't punish something as terrible as the Holocaust, so they needed to do something extreme to make the world realize how wrong it was. Some think that Nacum was a necessary step before the survivors could go back to living in a normal society. The leaders of Nacum had 2 plans. Plan A was to kill a lot of Germans, and Plan B was to poison thousands of SS prisoners in American camps. Kovner went to Italy and then to Palestine to meet other Jews, but he was determined to get revenge. Nacum worked secretly to raise money, get poison, and sabotage German things. They even got fake British money and forced people to give them money. They also got some money from people who supported them. About 30 Nacum members sailed on a ship called Berea to Palestine in 1946. They were welcomed by other Jewish groups, but most of them didn't want to continue with revenge. Some of them, led by Bolek Ben-Yaakov, went back to Europe to keep trying. Others returned to Europe in 1947 and 1948 with the help of a politician. The breakaway groups had a lot of problems, and it became even harder when Germany became a new country in 1949. Some members turned to crime to survive and tried to escape from German jails with the help of other people who had fought against the Nazis. Most of them went back to Israel between 1950 and 1952. Ben-Yaakov said that he wouldn't have felt right if he didn't try to get revenge, even though it didn't work. After coming to Israel, former Nacum members didn't talk about what they did for many years, only starting to share their stories in the 1980s. Some people see Kovner's involvement in Nacum as a big mistake, and they think it's amazing that the revenge plan failed. The group members didn't feel bad about what they did and wanted the world to know about their actions. In 1999, two NACOM members, Harmatz and Distel, talked about what they did in a documentary. Distel thought their actions were right, and they deserved to get back at the Germans. German officials investigated them for attempted murder, but they stopped because of the unusual situation. As of November 2019, 4 members of NACOM were still alive.